Okay, I can do it. So there we were in the abyss, and lo and behold, Tenebris turns into Orcus, and it seems very, very bleak. And we decide that the best thing for us to do is to try to get away instead of fighting. And we're running up this hill, chased by visages and whatnot. Orcus trying to chase after us, and it's looking worse and worse by the second. But really, we spend the whole combat encounter running up this hill and trying to make it to the portal, and eventually, we all get there. And except for one, of course, Sena gets left behind, very briefly, but that's okay. She gets saved a little later. Oh, well, not yet. Everyone's at the portal, but it turns out the portal is like about 80 feet in the air, so things just keep getting worse. And Haldor can only take up 3 people at a time. Metis, being the smart guy he is, decides to fly up to the portal to alleviate the stress and get out of there first. And turns out the portal is high above Ascia, and Metis plummets to his impending doom. Except our white savior has arrived.
Wow.
Whoa.
In a miraculous event, maybe. In miraculous event, Metis does land on the deck of Adrian Holcroft's almighty flying ship, and looking quite badass, Adrian makes some remarks and proceeds to fly the ship through the portal, at least part way, giving us a way to escape now that we don't have to fly all the way up there. Well, Haldor does successfully get Fern, Poppy, and Yuliana out first, but then the ship flies through the portal, and the only ones left at this point are Akram, Sena, and actually no, Sena's still there. Sena and Atlan. And unfortunately, in this moment, Akram does proceed to take off his armor, and he wants to make one last stand to get everyone away. And in a beautiful, manly display of power, he jumps on the Orcus and stabs him right in the chest, giving us all a chance to escape. And as we are escaping, the portal's closing. The ship is barely squeezing through. Fern takes a tumble a little bit, and Atlan tries to catch her, and he does catch her, but Atlan also does take a tumble. And then Sena tries to catch Atlan and catches Atlan, but also takes a tumble. So everyone's falling off, and in a valiant sacrifice, Sena unfortunately uses her dragon heart to supply her with enough power to throw Atlan and Fern back onto the ship, falling off the flying boat in the process and giving her life to save ours. And as the ship leaves through the portal, it closes, and all we hear is a muffled explosion, leaving Sena behind. But it also turns out Sena is not entirely dead. Kind of, maybe. I'm not really sure. But she's in the purple stuff right now. So viewers, don't cry because Sena's dead, because she might not be dead. Anyways, back at Ascia, we get someone to meet the acting king, Kit Mondrath, or future king per se, Kit Mondrath, and after meeting up with him, it turns out that this little fucker was the traitor. He's been working with Orcus the entire time. He informed him of our arrival in the Abyss, and he's pretty much the reason why Orcus has always had an upper hand on us. And he basically explains his reasoning that what's the big comet's name? The big meteor? Again?
Atribus.
It turns out
we hate Kit Mondrath.
We do. It turns out Kit Mondrath, his whole goal is to have Atropus crash into the world, killing everyone, and pretty much bringing the state of the world back to how it was when Atropus was the guy. He was the dude. Like
He was the goat.
He was the goat. But he wants that to happen. He wants human life to end in a big peaceful bang and the world to just be reset essentially. And we're like, what the hell, bro? That's fucked up. But he's like, there's nothing you can do, and we can't kill him because he's the acting king. And that's pretty much where we're at. Fern is devastated and feels guilt over Sena, and Atlan and Metis are kind of trying to figure out what to do about this whole situation. But that's where we're at. And in 5 days' time is Akram's funeral, and that's where we left off.
I wait for ryguy to finish typing here.
Anything I miss?
Not really.
Cool.
I don't know if you did mention it or not. You might have. But that the reason that Kit Mondrath is so pro the world dying is because he thinks that the gods have sullied it and are undeserving of worship.
Yeah, he hates the gods like Eos and Gartha because they pretty much sullied the abyss, which used to be a beautiful, luscious place of mana, and now it's nothing because they took everything from it. And he thinks it's the guilt. I hate the guilt Fern holds in her heart for ultimately being the deciding factor in Sena's death. Hates the gods. But yes, Kid does have beef with Eos. Ryan hates. Dude, you're doxing him. Don't use his real name.
I'm not gonna say that one.
Oh no!
I can't.
No, I'm recording.
What is this?
His full name is Ryan Guy. God hates, you know the rest.
This is what we're doing tonight.
Yeah, we're not even gonna play. I just recapped for nothing. I just recapped for fucking nothing.
Yeah, you're dead.
Like talking in Minecraft chat.
Sena goes, let's continue.
Sena can only speak to us through the chat now.
we open
as a wisp, a ghost.
We open.
Okay.
Scene. The Family Guy establishing.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
This is like that time I was in the live stream.
We get the what's the drunken clam one?
The filler session, bro. We're in the that's what's going on.
Let me see. It was the Owl Song Lounge. We'll say that's where you guys are.
Oh yeah.
The nicest place. And it's probably where somebody with infinite money would be staying. Money that I've stopped tracking because it's too high.
Because we're too rich.
I have zero money.
That's which one's the Owl Song Lounge? Hold on, I believe it's that one. But
crazy enough, I
can't read the numbers.
I have $0 on me, which is very funny. It is this one.
That's where you guys are.
I'm just broke as a fucking homeless
Peter,
dude.
did you take out the trash?
It's like that time I took out the trash in the live stream.
All right, no more family yet.
Just you, like Peter. Did you take out the trash? So anyways, okay, all right, lock in everybody. We are back in the Owl Song Lounge.
Yes.
To put the image in your guys' head, it's you guys are in a part of town that's less panicked, I guess I should say. The people here they generally are like, well, even if some fucked shit is happening, we've got our money, we've got our high walls, we'll be all right. But still, there's this sense of unease as this shape in the sky that started as just a glimmer has now grown to this moon-sized celestial body that hangs over the sky, and it's definitely closer than the moon, as I just realized why I'm like having a hard time focusing. This is the music's wrong. I'm still playing the recap music.
Yeah, this is the adventure begins.
Let's get. Why not? Forsaken Town. I think this is what I used for Hugh, but that's all right. This moon-sized celestial body, and you can tell that it's closer, not just by the clarity of it in the sky, but also by the fact that as the day sort of progresses, it is moving more quickly through the sky, as if it's something that is, perhaps only a matter of days, maybe weeks, you hope to yourselves, from impacting the planet, as you were told is the goal by Kit Mondrath. I guess we'll open up back in the lounge with the three of you sort of sitting, talking, taking the first breather for a while since making it back from the abyss. Your bodies are still exhausted, your minds are still readjusting. Your lungs, even the cold wintry air feels warm breathing it in compared to how it was in that place. And we'll open up with you guys at the table.
Yeah, I think Metis was very go at Sena's death, trying to kind of keep everything going. Keep everything like going because he knew there couldn't really be time to acknowledge while still in the void. But yeah, I think this is the first moment it's really setting in that Sena is gone for Metis, and kind of the weight of everything, and his conversation with Kit Mondrath. Yeah, Metis has a focused and tired look on his face. Kind of this contrasting.
Does he say anything though?
He says, check please. No.
Oh, dude.
All right, he gets
so
muted.
well.
He gets
You're
muted.
doing
No,
so well.
I was doing good, RP. So
all right, I'll kickstart this. I'll kickstart the RP. The server comes to the table with your guys' food and drink and sets it down on the table and looks at you, Metis, with this expression on your face and sort of says, "Rough day, huh? Yeah, the whole town's been going through it."
yes, well, at least I have food and drink. And yeah, a tired smile at the server. Metis will turn to the party and not really acknowledging what he's thinking about. Do we have any idea on next steps for this apocalypse too?
Yeah, and I guess in the immediate future, just we'll attend the funeral of all of our fallen friends. I'd like to visit the temple and present them with the Dawnbreaker that Yannick died defending, and
I don't know if we have time for funerals, Atlan.
You might be right. I was hoping the next time we'd see Ascia, all of this would be over. I didn't expect to come back at the turn of the tide. I'm not quite sure what to do now, but
Yes,
Returning the sword might be a start. Maybe the temple can help us.
To lose so much and to still be in such dire times, it's tiresome.
It really, yeah. It's been a lot. Everyone's lost a lot. We've been through too much.
All of you,
but we still are
of,
the best hope for the world.
As Atlan says this, all of you sort of think to yourselves how quickly in the past few months, not only has the state of your lives changed, but you yourselves have changed. Like Metis, you are sort of running your fingers across your face as you feel a scar that was left by your father when you fought him. And Fern, you find it hard to focus with this second consciousness swimming around in your mind. You feel like you're never alone. And Atlan, having witnessed so much death and loss in the last few weeks and days, you feel this detachment from your own life, and it's a strange feeling to be sitting here expecting, sometimes glancing over to a fourth empty seat where Sena would be, and adjusting to the sort of new quietude that the group has. Yeah, things have changed very fast. And you think back to Atlan saying that perhaps the temple would be a good place too.
Yeah, I've also, besides the sword, of course, I think if there's any chance of getting Sena back in some way, that would be the best place.
It's a good of a lead as any.
All right, shall we finish our drinks, head out?
I suppose so.
Fern
sits with a silentness.
I guess I don't. Yeah. Fern will just follow the lead. She's angry and sad and doesn't want to talk.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But if there's any hope, might as well try.
Yes, let's not forget who we're fighting. Kit Mondrath. He's not just some impartial adjudicator. This is the man that's taken our friends from us.
Yeah.
Let's I don't want to
he will
play
pay
his game.
After all this is over, I'll make sure that he's brought to justice. There's no grievance worse than treachery, in my opinion.
Yes. Metis, you are right. It feels like this is the first time Fern has talked in a while, but you get the vibe that she is definitely out to kill when you mentioned Kit Mondrath. Yeah, Metis, you are correct. I think this man needs to pay with the very thing he took from us, which are our friends' lives, so I think he should at least pay with something of equal weight. Soon.
You hear Fern ruminating on murder, essentially, and this sort of is comforting to Metis and a little alarming to Atlan. But You are certainly not traveling with the same optimistic young girl that you'd picked up back in Hue the first time.
That anger, Fern, that fire, that keeps you going in hard times. And we need strong people in hard times. And then, yeah, let's make
Let's
our way
go to
the
the temple.
temple.
As you guys get up, push in your chairs. Yes, you remember where the temple
I
is.
do. I won't. I wouldn't forget.
Huge.
And this is my house right here.
Yes, sir.
I jump in the river.
The Metis
Go for a
River.
bath right next to the Holcroft estate.
Hearing Atlan say this, Suvain is going to speak up and speak to you for
Metis
It was
River.
Metis. Metis says this. Suvain is going to sort of speak up and say, Fern, I hope you take his words to heart. The fire inside of you is what keeps you going. I believe that you are approaching your crowning moment. Stay strong in this time.
Fern will listen. I guess theater of the mind. Fern will listen to these words and not show it on her face, but in her head. Imagine just like very, very intense look, but without responding. I don't think she wants her friends to be aware of what she's currently thinking right now.
Do you have doubts, Fern? Do you not believe yourself capable of doing what needs to be done after coming this far? I wouldn't think it like you to just back down.
It's not doubts that I have. I feel that the feeling I have now is it's not like me, but I'm not sure if I should totally reject what I'm feeling. We know the man that needs to pay, and he took everything from us and might take more. So I think you are right. This is a crowning moment, or soon to be, but I'm not entirely sure what I'll be afterwards. I guess
Be whatever you make it, Fern. My greatest failure was attempting to ascend to godhood before I was ready. Fern, when all is said and done, and Orcus is no more, who's to stop you from becoming a god yourself? No one. Wield that power, Fern.
if
Feel
that's
it with your whole being.
if that's what it takes to avenge everything we've lost, then so be it.
You guys finally arrive at the temple, and seeing the golden statues of the golden statue singular of Eos and the silver one of Katha outside the temple, sort of reflecting this red glow from the sky, as the days have sort of been plagued by this red hue as the sun comes into the sky. Times where this comet obscures part of the sun, it's a changed world. And seeing the statues that are glorifying the gods outside of at least Katha's most devoted temple is quite unsettling for you. And as you walk in, there's a sort of unsettling quietness about the place. Your footsteps sort of echo on marble floor, and it doesn't seem like there's as many attendants as there normally is. Obviously, one of them is missing.
Oh.
I'll go to we had a name for one of the clerics. I forgot, the old man. I'll go to him.
Amina dad.
Yeah, I was gonna say which one. The one that raised
Yeah.
Mina?
Yeah.
He does have a name. I don't remember what it was.
That's fine.
Yannick 1.
No.
Yannick Senior.
There you go.
We did it.
Okay, it was
Seymour.
Lorenz. He does have a name.
Lorenz.
Okay. Lorenzo.
Yeah.
I will.
You- The last time that you saw him, he's almost visibly aged since then, even though it's only been a few months. His dusty brown hair has sort of given way to this gray and white hair. His face more sunken. You can tell that the stress of everything has sort of been weighing down on him. Still wearing the white and gold robes that he was wearing, still kept clean and orderly, and he looks up at you as you walk towards him and he says, Atlan, I have never been more relieved to see a face as yours. And he
it's
almost
it's good to
walks up
see
to
you
you.
as well.
Arms held out in a sort of manner as if he means to embrace you as he moves towards you. But
Before he does that, I'm just gonna slowly pull out the sword and present it to him.
As you sort of do that, he stops and looks up at you and sort of says, the sword should be in the possession of Yannick, should it not? Where is he?
Well, there's not an easy way of saying this, but Yannick fought valiantly until the end. He traveled with us into the abyss, but he wasn't prepared. He brought this blade with him, and he told me in his dying words to return it to the temple. I'll miss him very dearly.
I see. Atlan, I hope that you don't blame yourself.
There was a time where I think I would have put this on myself and punished myself for this shortcoming, but I think Yannick and Mina, they might have gotten to me. I think I'm a changed man now.
It's good to know that the two of them have had such an impact on you. When you first came to this temple, I remember how resistant you were to the routines, the order, and all of it. And I saw a lot of that with Yannick as well. Though, in the time since he had met with you for the first time and the time that he had been promoted to a senior paladin, it had been nothing but positive words about you, Atlan. He looked up to you greatly, and I think, well, if it were to end, I think it ended the best way. I don't think that there was a more fitting death for a man as bold and devoted as Yannick.
Yeah,
He
he
sort
was. He was relentlessly brave until the end.
He sort of takes the sword from you and wraps it in the he sort of removes this white and gold scarf sort of drape from around his neck and wraps the sword in it and says, I will have this delivered to Priestess Maribel. Learning of her brother's passing, I'm sure will be hard on her, but she will make do. She's a strong girl, too.
I only knew Yannick after he became a follower of Eos. What was he like before he converted? What kind of person was he?
You would know it's not necessarily conversion so much as it is a adaptation of a lifestyle that is supposed to emulate how Eos was as a mortal. And you remember, sort of being brought up, being taught certain things about how to interact with people, certain things about judgment, certain things about, needing to be strong, and knowing how to use, weapons to protect people who can't protect themselves. And he sort of tells you stories of how, Yannick was a lot like you in that he was slow to be willing to adopt these things into his life, and that he was a more wily, energetic kid when he was young. He took to the sword very fast, though, and that sort of became what kept him active and committed to the duties that the temple had requested of him. And that in that first moment when you met Yannick, that he was very eager to throw himself into dangerous situations to prove himself and to prove that he had, mastered his craft, that he had become worthy of wielding the weapons of the temple. And, the two of you sort of reflect on this, and you remember how, in his final stand in the abyss, that, this sort of recklessness had never truly left him. But yeah,
unfortunately, Yannick wasn't the only person that we lost going into the abyss. About half of our party didn't make it out, including our dearest friend Sena, which is the second reason we've come today. If there's any way to bring her back.
He sort of ponders on this for a moment. He says, when you die in the abyss, you can't return to the life stream. The river of the Aether does not flow through that wretched place. If there's any hope of bringing your friend Sena back, I don't think that you'll find it here.
Well, that isn't
out of character
the
for a
news I was
second.
hoping to hear.
Out of character, yes?
I feel bad talking about reviving Sena and not saying
And not
anything
Yannick.
about Yannick.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, that's
I
very
was thinking
funny.
about that too.
I mean, everything in D&D is a bit of an abstraction, but we'll assume that, it would have been brought up that anybody who died in the abyss,
Okay.
Yeah.
um, bringing any of them back would be an impossibility. As in order to be brought back, there needs to be a soul to pull from the life stream. And that if your soul can't be returned to it, then there's nothing that resurrection magic is able to do.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate, but we'll make sure none of them died in vain. And before we leave, I mentioned last time, Mina, after falling to Tenebris, now Orcus, she became his general, his death knight.
You can, by the way, just refer to him retroactively as Orcus. It's a bit of a weird, like, magic is real moment, but it's the
Like
reason,
everyone,
yeah,
like his name's
basically,
out, like everyone
yeah,
knows. Yeah,
Magic
okay.
is real.
the collective suppression of his existence was undone.
Okay.
So
Everyone
yeah,
knows it.
you
Everyone-
would
And,
remember that, like, when you were in those ruins of, like, those temples to some strange god, as you would, like, recall those memories, you're now remembering that the words Orcus were, like,
Yeah.
smattered all over the walls, carved into things.
Mhm.
It was there all along. You just couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Did we mention Atropus too?
Yes. Wait, did you? I don't know. I don't
No,
think so.
we're getting there.
Okay.
Mina was she was the Death Knight of Orcus for months. Her corpse being controlled and used as a weapon of spawning great evil. While we were in there, we came in confrontation with Orcus and Mina. We tried to drive away the forces. We were unsuccessful, but Mina's soul cannot be tormented any longer. She's not under his influence anymore.
I understand, Atlan. It brings me peace to know that. I just wish there was a way it didn't end like that for her.
Yeah, me too. But her suffering has concluded, and now we just have to rebuild everything that we've lost.
The city is in luck to have people as devoted to that cause as you. The three of you are what remains of this city's hope in this time.
Yes, well, it seems that those responsible for the city might not have its best intentions in mind.
Yeah, as Loren says this, you see Fern's facial expression kind of winces a little bit, just like knowing that she is still very, very doubtful at the moment. Maybe not in herself, but just everything.
He sort of hears you say that. He sees you make that face, Fern, and he hears you say what you said, Metis, and he says, "Well, I know that the king is making a slow recovery from his illness, but I wouldn't say that he's any less fine of a king than he has been. I still admire him."
Well, I don't suppose there's any point in secrets, but the king is is, as you know, ill, and Kit Mondrath has taken over as acting king during the king's ill health. But we've recently learned that Mondrath has aligned himself with Orcus. And this celestial object plummeting to Earth is of Orcus's and Kit Mondrath's design.
He sort of hears you say that, and he scrunches his eyebrows and he says, "Is that true? That Mondrath is the one holding the power now?"
I wish it weren't.
That bastard is the cause for everything.
I've known he was weak, but I didn't think he was playing a part. It
He's
just goes to
leading
show
this
what
city
happens
to a
when you
slaughter.
underestimate. Well, I don't know what to do with this information, but rest assured that this temple will do all that it can to protect itself from any influence from the government. That if push comes to shove with somebody who's aligned themselves with Orcus, then this temple and its paladins are more than capable of going toe-to-toe with the military.
It's
I
comforting
appreciate-
news.
We appreciate our martial support, but we might need more than just that. The Orcus and Mondrath have summoned Atropus, and kind of Metis will look out kind of towards a window where they can see this object. Do you know of this Atropus? Anything might help.
Atropus. Is that a demon of some kind? Where has it been summoned to?
Oh gosh, what is? I'm trying to remember Atropus's lore.
I'm gonna say, I'm afraid
He's the guy.
He's not of demonic origin. According to Kit Mondrath, this is some ancient history that predates the gods we know. Eos, Katha.
He's the mana guy.
He
wants to suck everyone's mana.
Yes.
he is
He wants to reclaim what we took.
far more powerful being than anything else in this world.
As you speak these words, Atlan, you feel this sort of chill run down your spine, as if being watched, and almost as if you've been noticed sneaking around somewhere that you shouldn't be. And I'm gonna need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
Okay.
Shit.
Just be a little wise, Atlan. Be a little wise. How's it going, Naomi?
Alan is not wise in this.
I'm
moment.
dead.
Well,
No.
12.
Atlan is not wise.
You sort of speak these words and you get that feeling, and you sort of get this almost indescribable sensation that washes over you, as if you're being spoken to, as if you've heard words, though your ears hear none. It's your brain sort of registering this message as it would if you were being directly addressed by somebody. and
Okay.
the resonation of this message in your mind is speak no further of this.
Can I discern who's speaking to me?
Oof, make a religion check.
Oh,
Oh no! No clue.
uh,
No, you got
not a
good
state,
religion.
right?
Yeah, you're just religion.
No, it's
Oh, it's a
religion.
9. It's a 9.
It's a 9.
Damn.
Somebody who is far, far more powerful than you.
Wow.
That-
Uh-oh.
Quite vague. I don't
Mm.
know.
Probably a
This-
motherfucker.
Resonation in your
Ignorance is bliss.
mind.
it's my own thought.
It's my conscience. It's my own thought. It's
Stupid.
Atlan
So dumb.
No, it's not
talking to
like
himself in his head. It goes, oh wait, that's my voice.
I'm thinking this. I guess I think that.
Yeah, that's funny.
Essentially, the memory of being spoken to
Yeah,
has appeared in your mind.
I see.
It's my own voice.
Well, what does Lorenz say to all this info we just dumped on him?
I'm trying to remember the most recent thing that you told him.
About how
he
he's like an outer god, he's more powerful than Eos or Katha.
And he wishes to devour the mana stream.
I don't wish to point fingers, but perhaps your time spent in the abyss has caused you to be thinking heretical thoughts. I would spend the afternoon in prayer, perhaps.
Well,
with Eos.
I'm not quite sure if I believe it myself, but this is the info that's been given to us by Kit Mondreth, but who knows? He seems like an unreliable source.
Yes. Anybody
Not
claiming
quite sure what to think of this.
Anybody claiming to surpass the gods in power is surely a demon spinning lies. I would pay no mind to the words of a what's the word? I don't know. Suppose I'd pay no mind to the words of a man as well drenched in demonic dealings as Kit Mondreth is, if what you tell me is true.
Well, we thank you for your time.
Of course. Know that you three are welcome in this place whenever. And he sort of takes the sword and he sort of bows his head over it respectfully and then leaves off towards where the reliquary wing of the temple is.
The girl's in here, is she?
Maribel? You haven't seen her, but you know that she typically
Sure, we can
tends
find
to
her.
the reliquary.
I mean, I just in character, it's more so Yannick asked us to tell her that he didn't fall. He resisted Orcus and fought till the very end. No matter how much Orcus tried to tempt him or turn him, he fought and died on his own terms.
Yeah, we could mention that to her, but I feel like we already mentioned that to Lorenz.
Yeah.
We kind of summed that up for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys follow him sort of
Yeah, it's more like an
towards
RP
the
thing.
reliquary, you sort of hear some words exchanged between his voice and somebody else's, and it pretty quickly emotions rise, and you sort of are listening to the sounds of crying fill the halls of the Temple of Twilight, and yeah, you're watching him embracing a smaller, younger-looking cleric.
Man. Fern is not happy.
Yes,
What's
this is
new?
sad.
But what's new?
Yeah. Metis will turn his back to kind of this exchange that, the party's kind of eavesdropping on, and go, I have thoughts, but here's not the place to share them.
Yes, we could speak outside.
Yeah, I think.
But before we go, I'll give
leave.
them some words of comfort and just let her know that Yannick was like the same thing I said to Lorenz, that he was brave, he was uncorruptible, he fought valiantly, and he proved the content of his character in his dying moments.
As you do, it's Lorenz seems appreciative of this sort of gesture from you, Atlan, and after you sort of give these words, Maribel too sort of runs to you and embraces you in a similar way, just sort of grabbing the fabric that hangs off of your armor and sort of just sobbing into it. And you recall, Yannick was young, probably like 18, but Maribel is younger, and in this moment it really does just feel like, you're reminded that this is just a child that is going through the same sorts of things that you are all going through. Maribel can't be older than 15.
Well, he was a good man, and as hard as it is to overcome these emotions that are left to us living, we have to keep pushing forward. It won't be easy. It doesn't. It'll fade with time. The loss, it never really goes away. Just know that yeah, it's important to keep pushing on.
Your attempts to sort of soothe her emotions are not unappreciated or unnoticed, but she is fairly inconsolable at this point. And Lorenz sort of puts his hand on your shoulder and says, I'm sure she'll appreciate these wise words once she's had time to digest everything. I think it's best to give the girl some time to grieve.
I think you're right, and we should probably get going. We have other matters to attend to in the city, but it was good to meet with you.
Always. And Metis, you mentioned wanting to speak in private.
Yes, Metis will kind of lead Fern and Atlan outside the temple, kind of walking along until they're kind of a safe distance where there's not going to be some stray priest overhearing them. Yes, I was thinking when we were talking to Lauren, I think there's two things that we need to consider. One, that if Atropos is as powerful as Kit Mondrath claims, I don't think help of mortal help will be enough. I think it might be time to call upon the gods. If
You might be right. The only thing I can think of is the Guardians of Eos, the Celestials. They might be the only ones who could help us from the line of Eos. From Katha, I wouldn't know, and for the rest of the gods, I wouldn't have any idea. But I think you're right, Metis. I don't think as for followers of the temple, I don't think there's anyone who's seen more demonic entities and cosmic horrors than I have in the last couple months.
Yes, I think that Atropos represents a threat to them as much as it does to us. And that leads me to my second thought. If Kit Mondrath, we have to consider the reality in which Kit Mondrath was honest about the gods and their natures, of their human qualities. And we might need to treat the situation and with that in mind.
Metis speaks these words again, and Atlan, as he does, you feel that chill, this time stronger. Make another wisdom save.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Pick it up.
Light gasp.
16.
16. You still beat it. You hear this. You don't hear it, but you have another one of these sensations of being spoken to again. This time, more stern. And the words that resonate in your mind this time are, "Certainly you haven't served me so diligently for so long to betray me now."
Oh
No further
no.
discussion of this matter.
No.
Metis keeps talking, and he just goes, I think, I don't know, we might need the gods' help, but I don't know if we can pretend them to be some benevolent,
Yeah. I mean,
They were human once. That's how I have always grown to know Eos, is that he was a man, ascended to be a god, but was not born a god by any means.
yeah. If it's
Man.
if it's the only thing we got, I mean, what else could we do?
Do you have a way to talk to your god, Atlan?
I do, and this talk with this mention of Atropos, it does I do feel split. I feel like I'm trying to be spoken to, and I'm not sure how to feel about this.
What do you mean you're being spoken to?
It feels like I'm not quite sure if I don't know if someone who isn't a follower could understand, but it does feel like he's almost whispering to me in a way.
He's speaking to you.
Atlan with
Like now.
Atlan. You're talking to someone with a literal person in their head. I think I know what you mean. You can speak.
Oh, that is yeah. For I guess it's
Fern
not
says
not
this
to,
completely seriously. It's not even trying to be a joke.
It's not even. It's something I might have forgotten of. But yeah, it's probably similar.
If he's speaking to you, ask him for help. Tell him that the fate of everything is on the line, and that all of his creation it will be set aflame if he doesn't intervene.
Eos does love this world. I don't doubt that. I believe if he cares about it, he'll shed his light on us, and I'll attempt a something prayer or something divine something.
Okay. Are you saying a prayer to Eos?
Sure, but I'm gonna use what's the spell called? Divination.
Okay. What's the casting time? 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes?
10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes.
Minute.
What does divination do exactly?
Speak to God
Or magic.
or celestial, truthful reply, maybe a short phrase, cryptic rhyme, or an omen.
Concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. Okay, what's the specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days?
Well, obviously it's got to be about Atropus, and it'll be about it seems like we are pretty outnumbered. The world seems to be on the brink of destruction, and there's not much we can do. And all of the best fighters have half of the best fighters, I guess, have lost their lives, and we're kind of left in pieces. And we need the help of the gods. We need Eos's light.
You sort of draw this prayer circle on the ground, light your incense. Mark 25 gold off of your money.
Greedy bastard.
He's taking my money, bro.
It's a spell with a cost.
I know.
What's the sacrifice?
We'll do it after. What sacrifice?
A goat.
Yeah, it's a sacrificial offering appropriate to your religion. So we'll just say in this case,
I haven't had to do that before, but I guess we'll do it.
I didn't know that there was a material component of the spell.
I forgot about that.
It could be anything. Just
I'll
light something on fire. We'll say it's that.
Shoot. What do I have? Do I have any what's the fortune flower?
The fortune flower.
Oh my god, that blew up in my face one time.
Yeah,
it's not fun.
Let me read what that one does.
Do we have a card of this on the table?
Yeah, it's on my stack,
I'll just read it.
I think.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's in the hole.
I had one at one point and then I lost it, and it did damage to me.
Oh, I have one right
it's
here.
Augury. Too. Okay, I'll take a fortune flower and I'll burn it as an offering.
Okay, easy peasy. Yeah, you place the flower in the center of the circle. And all right, what was the specific goal, action, or event in
I already did it.
I know, but what are the exact? How do you phrase it? When asking about it, you don't have to do this
1 million doll hairs.
I just know. I need to know exactly what you're trying to
realize. No, I'll say I'm trying to gain the help of Eos for sure. That's the goal. It'll just be a question on Atropus is coming to destroy the world. Orcus is plotting in the abyss. Mondrath has control of the city. Our defenses are in shambles. Our party is half destroyed, and we need the help of Eos.
Okay, you sit there and pray for a moment. I'm gonna need you to make one more wisdom save.
Okay, let me get up again. Damn.
Oh, damn.
7.
7. Okay, with this roll, this time you hear the voice fully. You are sort of enthralled by this mighty presence that now occupies your mind, and with this booming ethereal voice that now speaks to you, as you sort of see this pair of golden eyes in this space within your mind, your eyes sort of closed as you lean down, kneeling in prayer. You hear the voice speak to you and say, Atlan, you have done well to serve me as you have this long. I ask, if you are requesting my intervention in the world of mortals, that you continue to serve me as you have. Disregard the words of heretics like Mondrath. What you fight is no being greater than the gods. It is a creation of the demons, a chunk of abyssal terrain sent hurtling into Kalan.
I
Speak no further
understand.
of the name Atropos. Do not seek knowledge. Trust in me that going down that path will destroy you, Atlan.
I understand. We need your help now more than ever.
And you will have it so long as you obey. And he's gonna cast Gesh on you.
Oh,
This fucking asshole.
You already failed the save. You can not speak the name Atropos. Any longer.
Okay.
Dude, this guy's such a dickhead.
And you open your eyes. Now feeling this sort of divine presence with you, as you feel a bit more watched, I suppose. The presence doesn't fully recede as the sort of vision of these eyes does, and you sort of hear the voice speak one last time as you open your eyes and say, "You have my protection so long as you uphold the tenets of my teachings."
I understand.
So, did he answer?
Eos did respond. He told me that he will guide us aid. He will help protect this realm.
What does that mean?
I'm
Protect us. What is he gonna do about Atropos?
I'm not quite sure what he means by protect. I've never spoken to the Dawn Father before, but I have to have faith.
Oh my god, that reminds me. Yeah, Atlan, you take...
Poison damage.
That reminds me. You take 21 points of psychic damage for directly speaking with a god.
That makes sense. I can't comprehend.
I thought it was good for a second. I thought it was 21 points of damage for hearing the word Atropos.
No,
would be
no, no,
crazy.
no,
Kills Atlan.
Atropos.
Yeah, that would be
Nightmare,
a
nightmare,
fun-
nightmare,
that'd be a
nightmare,
fun
nightmare.
game. It'd be a fun game mechanic.
kills Atlan.
Just like
party-
you just be dead within one conversation relating to the plot.
The party can deal unavoidable damage to you by speaking a word.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fun.
that would be so fun. Why don't we do that?
Yeah. Well, Fern.
I cast a spell. You take 1 damage every time you use the word the.
Yeah, you walk into a
No.
like an adverb. Damn it!
Fern. Fern.
My weakness, vocab.
vocab. Well,
Every time someone says green flame, I take 5 points of damage.
already do.
That's me in real life. Anyways, what were you saying?
Fern will hear Atlan kind of give this very vague statement and not really like be disappointed, but more so be like almost fed up, just almost like, well, that helped no one. Like it. She feels that was nothing. Like she is disappointed in that response. It seems that the doubt she was already feeling is only getting worse slowly, just because to her that was nothing.
Your god wishes us to sit passively as their god hurtles towards us.
As Metis says this, Atlan, you remember that Eos told you the true nature of Atropus.
Yeah, I'll mention that to them. I'll say, well, I can't say his name. Well, can I talk about him, or can I just say the word?
You cannot say the word Atropus.
Okay.
But you remember that Eos told you that the thing in the sky is.
Yep.
Yeah.
The
So-
cosmic entity, the cosmic entity hurling towards
The
our
what?
world. You see in the sky.
Atropus.
Yes. Eos has told me some information. I'm conflicted. I'm hearing different things. Kit Mondrath says this. Eos says that. I obviously am more. I would lean towards, the god that I follow. He's told me. He told me this world-ending threat is actually a piece from the abyss, a corrupted piece, and it's of demonic origin.
And what do we do about it? That it's still.
I'm not
big,
quite sure, Fern. He's not not one for many words, but I just have to trust that aid will come. There's not much else I can say.
So a big rock is headed right for us. Even if it is a chunk of corrupted abyss or a god, it's still headed at us and gonna kill us. And your god just tells you what it is and nothing more.
Well, to be fair, he did say that he would intervene when the time comes, as long as you do what he asks you to.
Fern is not aware of this, but
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me speaking to Anthony.
okay.
Over the table.
Yeah, he will. He gave me his word, and I have to trust that what he said is true. He said he will come to prevent this event from happening. He will intervene as long as I stay faithful. So this might be the best bet so far. We've had our first I guess actual conversation with the gods. I see this as some sort of progress, even if it wasn't the exact news we were hoping for.
I guess it is better than nothing, I suppose.
Yes.
Fern sighs.
protection in exchange for obedience, I suppose. Let's hope your god sticks to their word.
If it means protecting the realm, I will stay obedient, no matter what.
And it feels like the love of a feels like the love of a distant parent. Conditional strings. I don't know,
Yeah,
Atlan.
maybe.
Your god seems more fickle than I've always been led to believe.
I understand your hesitation, your doubtfulness, Metis, but I've seen the work he's done in the world, and it is good. It has helped people. I have to believe that this force of good can help push back this apocalypse. It might be the only thing we have.
Metis will kind of give Atlan kind of a longer look. You can tell he's thinking. And then just goes, well, I suppose we just have to trust you. Well, I put my faith in you, Atlan, and if your faith is in Eos, then I suppose that's good enough for me.
I'm thankful for that, Metis, and I do understand your doubt. Trust me. Part of following a this is why it's I'm a lot of following the gods isn't having the answers all the time. It is having faith, and I'm not so sure myself. We'll have to find out together.
As Atlan is saying this, Metis shoots Fern a look that kind of is like and does a very subtle like kind of like we need to talk.
Fern will pick up on this look and
yes.
I guess not even do anything, just look back and I got it. I maybe acknowledge Metis.
Yeah, you guys still have 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
What else are you doing? Because you guys have just kind of been hanging out outside the temple.
Let's see.
There's still a list of everything over here on the side of the table. What?
Atlan looks down at his right arm, saying that it's still missing, and is feeling a bit selfish in this moment, and lets the party know that
It's gonna go regenerated.
This mana arm that I've been given, I'm not so sure how long it'll last. I'm not I don't know. I feel like it would be better if it was made of something real. I don't know if there's anyone who could fix me a prosthetic, but that would I think that would do better than what I've got right now.
You have 3 options. You can have a traditional prosthetic made by like a blacksmith or something that's just going to be a metal arm. You can have a like magic prosthetic that's like a functional like piece of like living tech basically, like living armor. Or you can have a you can just have it regrown at like a temple or something. Somebody can cast regenerate on you.
I see. The first one is just okay.
What's up? I was gonna say I'll give you time to ponder it. If Metis and Fern wanted to have a bit of an aside.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say probably whatever Atlan decides to do, Metis will take the opportunity of Atlan splitting off to talk to Fern. Did you hear, Atlan? It would be remiss if we let Atlan's blind faith get us killed. Sit on our hands. What? I just can't think that a truly benevolent God would keep their subjects in the dark and
Well, I mean,
the
you don't
faces.
know that the Gesh was placed. You know what Atlan told you, which was that Atropos is not actually a god, and that it's basically what Atlan would have told you in the clearest words possible, are that Eos told him that he knows what the comet in the sky is, and that it's a piece of like rock. It's like a chunk of like abyss terrain that's being hurled at the planet.
I think Metis is fine with that. What he's having a problem with is that Eos is kind of just saying like, I'll handle it. And
Right, yeah.
And it is requiring kind of, yeah, being still. I don't know. I know Atlan is bound to his faith, but I don't want that blind devotion to be what dooms this realm. I don't know. I'm conflicted. What do you think of this, Fern? I know you aren't clouded by, you know, Eos's light. While we might need Eos, I fear he's not, you know, the benevolent being that the faith supposes.
Yes, I do see something wrong here. Definitely, I agree with you. I think Atlan is just saying what we want to hear, and maybe he's relaying it from Eos. And if that's the case, that's worrying. Of course, we can't entirely trust Mondrath, but I don't know why Atlan is being so inconspicuous about it. I find it hard to believe that this thing in the sky is just a big chunk of rock.
Yes, well,
It's a little odd.
we don't.
Does the
I
idea
do.
of a being far beyond your comprehension make more sense to you?
I
mean,
I-
yeah, actually, in this situation, it does.
I want to be clear, out of game, by the way. I'm deliberately giving you guys two plausible explanations.
Yeah, I think
No way.
again, I don't think the explanation part. I think it's this like just have faith.
Yeah.
I'll protect you from, even if it is a rock, I'll protect you from the rock. Just yeah, that kind of
You
lack
wish
of
you were
action.
taking more action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is blind faith is no bueno.
Well, Atlan has his god. Is it worth trying to contact the other gods? Do you think they'll be of... I don't even know where to begin with that. I've never been a man of faith.
I mean, I don't think you're talking to the best example of one either, but being real, I do think blind faith will serve us no good, and that might honestly not be a bad idea. Maybe we can go back to the temple and maybe try to speak with Katha.
Yeah, is there a Cathan temple?
Yeah, so when you guys were just
It's the
Yeah,
Temple of
it's the
Twilight.
same.
We
Yeah,
just
it's the
were
same.
just
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the same.
Stone's the
Okay,
same.
yeah. I'll
Absolutely noobing.
yeah, that was a new
How dare you not know that? Piece of lore that I made up in my brain.
um
Yeah, I memorized all the lore.
Metis goes, well, I guess we'll be getting a second opinion. I think yeah, Metis will
Round 2. We're gonna do
We'll
this 9
go-
times.
yeah, Metis, no, I think just being transparent, I'm giving up after Katha if the gods route doesn't work. Metis is gonna go to the Twilight Temple and I guess try and make a prayer. Metis has never done this before.
Interesting.
But I think he's going to be. I have Charm of the Lady of Grace.
Ooh, that is true. You do have.
Ooh,
You're a
Katha item.
Okay,
special
you know
little
what?
boy.
You know what?
And
Because of
then I
that-
was also gonna play the Catherine angle.
There you go.
Oh, Catherine. Oh my gosh, I get it. So stupid. Meow meow meow. Meow meow.
Yeah, I think
meow.
Yeah, Metis will set up a little altar, and I think he's gonna be his sacrifice will be of the dragon turtle plush that him and Catherine exchanged.
No.
Okay, I was gonna say you're not capable of casting the spell divination, so you don't have to do that.
Okay,
But you can pray over it or something like that.
I'll pray over it. Yeah.
Still in the purple.
Perp.
Yeah, we're gonna
Lost
get
in the
to that.
perp.
We're gonna
The
get to that. All right.
The perp.
But
Super
I need
sticky.
to not disrupt the flow of important shit that's happening right now.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Yeah, you sort of begin this. How I'm not gonna say your prayer for you. What are you saying, and to whom?
Saying a prayer to Katha. I think it's gonna be something very straightforward. Lady of Grace, we seek your wisdom. This realm needs you. I need to know what is this Atropus and how do we stop it?
You sort of sit with your hands clasped in prayer for a while, and you're sort of muttering, sort of standing outside of the temple. And is it just you or Fern? Are you here too? I don't remember.
Well, I went with you know what,
Or you could be
Fern.
doing something else.
Yeah, Fern.
You had
thinks-
the option. Metis
Yeah.
wouldn't have snuck to it. You have the option to join if you want.
I think Fern does agree with what Metis says, and I think she wants confirmation from Katha to see what really is up. So yeah, she'll join despite not being the religious type. but
Group prayer.
yeah,
It's
group
the
prayer.
non-believer's prayer.
I'm not entirely a non-believer.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it's the gods.
It's kind of a
exist.
believer.
Fern's not a
something else.
non-believer, but she isn't the religious type.
The gods exist. It's not a religion that's faith-based. It's a religion that's devotion-based.
Yeah.
I tip my fedora.
Oh,
So
hell
called
yeah.
Katha.
Milady.
Oh my god.
Milady of Grace. That's good.
That's
Milady of
crazy.
Grace.
Milady, wow. Make a religion check. Sena. Metis.
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 What is my religion?
Metis?
Huh?
Setis?
Oh wow.
Or meta?
Oh, goddamn.
Oh man.
Can I
That makes
help?
sense though.
Can I help with that? I don't think
It's
I
hard. It's Metis. You find yourself stumbling over these words. This is awkward. This is like the first time you've ever attempted a prayer in your life. And you sort of are just sitting there clasping your hands and sort of getting frustrated, and you're like, I'm not hearing anybody. Nobody's acknowledging me. And eventually you feel this hand on your shoulder. And you sort of look up to see this scholarly looking woman draped in these fine sort of rust colored fineries, just like nice clothes. And she's sort of holding a book in her hands, and she says, I believe if there's, I couldn't help but overhear your prayer. If it's answers you seek, the temple won't be the place to find them. You should come meet me at the library at the academy. And
I know that one.
gives you a sort of smile and nod and says, take care of yourself, Metis. Walks away.
Metis doesn't recognize this lady at all, right?
Oh no, but you guys are like celebrities.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Metis will kind of shake himself of his frustration. Kind of has like in his mind like figures, no answer. And then is definitely curious of this lead. After no answers, I'll go to Fern and kind of share this this lead.
So the library, huh?
Yes, the Academy Library. I'm sure you're familiar.
Oh, you can say that. So, such as, yay.
Well, if the religious authority of the city isn't much help, maybe the academics will be of better mind.
Yeah, I think. I mean,
or whoever this lady is.
I mean, if that's what you think, then we can try.
It's better than nothing.
It's better than waiting for the rock and hopefully a god to save us.
Yes, strength is an action, Fern. We can't just wait around.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think if there's anything we should do before the library, but if we can't think of anything.
No, we can just we can saunter our way over there.
Yeah, we saunter. Medicine Firm would saunter over to the Academy Library.
Okay. You guys make your way over to the library. Atlan, you're shopping for an arm.
Arm shopping.
Arm shopping.
Prime man.
We're gonna sort of pivot.
Oh, okay.
Holy.
Sena.
Oh. That is
Oh.
dead. Tom, what do you mean?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Actually, hold on, Naomi, are you here?
I'm here.
Okay. We're gonna pick up like a day earlier, so that's why I've been like kind of hesitant to switch the scene, because this is happening immediately after you fall off and have this like weird, what feels like being imploded into like nothingness.
Right. Okay.
So you are sort of drifting in this, sleep-like state, and this presence eventually finds you as you sort of find yourself on this, what's essentially a like dreamlike landscape, this ephemeral place, and you're sitting with a young boy who looks like your brother the last time that you saw him. He doesn't look a day older.
Sena, I'm obviously very confused, very much in shock, still a little weary, so Sena's gonna look at this boy that looks so familiar to her. She's gonna look for some distinct features.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely identical.
Okay.
Yeah, you have no doubt in your mind that who you're speaking to is the same.
Okay. And I can kind of walk around now, right? Or am I still floating?
Kind of. It's
okay.
You're not exactly floating, but you're not exactly on ground either. You're in this, like, almost, like I said, dreamlike place that almost is sort of between existing and not existing. It feels like your feet are sort of on the ground as you're sort of sitting on this place with stuff that feels like grass beneath your hands, but you can't see it the way that you normally could. It's almost as if it's this mirage that you're sort of in this idyllic landscape.
Okay.
That only goes out, so far before sort of dissipating back into this infinite swirl of color around you. And you still, your body, you feel completely weightless. You feel, you notice that you haven't been breathing. You notice that it's almost as if you yourself are in the same state that this mirage landscape is in.
Okay. So my eyes just suddenly widen at the thought that could this actually be him? And so she's just going to I guess like take the gamble, and so she's just gonna shout, "Oh, Orion!" and try to, as much as she can, just like go up and hug him as hard as she can.
Yeah, again, it's the same feeling as the grass. You almost feel like you wrap your arms around him, but it's like he's not there and you're not there, and your arms don't pass through, but they sort of become one with his sort of shape. And as you let go of him, you sort of feel like the makeup of what you feel that your body is sort of separating from something else. It's you feel this almost spiritual existence, but you're able to hug him. And
okay.
He's gonna sort of, for the game's purpose, repeat what he said before and just say, "It's been so long since I've seen you. I've been looking for you everywhere."
It has. I can't believe you're here. How I don't understand how you're here. This is the live stream. This is the live stream. No? How am I here?
I mean,
I died in the abyss, no? I don't understand.
well, sister,
Is this all just like my final moments? Just one
it's
last
more
little...
complicated than that. You didn't die. I brought you here. And you sort of look down at the place in your chest where this dragon heart sort of was, and you just sort of see this sort of mass of like purple crystalline growth that sort of now creeps up your armor, and it's sort of grown over from your chest onto your shoulder, and another one that sort of wraps around the side of your ribs. It's these sort of crystal growths, and they sort of surround this emptiness in the middle of your chest with a few pieces of this crystal sort of suspended, and what almost looks like a black hole in the center of your chest now.
Oh my god.
Oh shit, that's cool.
What is this? Orion, are you doing this? What is happening?
It's not something that I am doing more than it's something that has been done. Sena,
What do you... Yes?
I know that you never took to study in the way that I did. Always, preferring strength of the body. I'd like to teach you a little bit about what I've come to learn of this world and of the Aether. You are in a place where a physical body should not be allowed to exist. You are defying the laws of our whole existence. And this sort of mass that is gathered here in your chest is what's keeping you together. And he sort of explains to you that in a way, you are neither alive or dead right now.
Okay.
And that he has existed in this same way in the live stream since the last time that you saw him.
All those years ago.
Yeah. And that he tells you that the Aether is a thing so much as it is a place, so much as it is particles. It's this, you're almost existing in a quantum state right now. And that time is not passing for the two of you.
Okay.
And that he has spent, all these years that have passed for you, he hasn't aged. He's basically just been in this point of potential, and that he can't leave because the sort of surge that he experienced that brought him here is more or less the same that brought you here, and that he doesn't know how to basically do the reverse of that. That he can bring things into the live stream, but he can't take them out.
You've been stuck here this whole time. Do you know what's happened to our parents? Did they come here as well, or
I have yet to
what happened to them?
locate our parents.
Okay.
I don't know where or when they could be.
When? Okay, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around all of this. So what exactly do you need of me?
He sort of pauses for a moment, and you sort of see him wave his hand and gather this sort of mass of color from like the surrounding, and he sort of spreads it out in front of you, and you sort of watch as it coalesces into this sort of image before you. You're watching as Atlan and Metis and Fern are returning the Dawnbreaker to the Temple of Twilight.
Oh my gosh, it's them.
And he sort of does it again, and you're watching now as you guys are traveling through the mine that you had, fought that crystal dragon in. And he says that, he's followed this trail of basically he's followed a trail to find where you are now, and I don't know how to word this in the best way, but he basically tells you that he thinks that you are capable of doing the opposite of what he does because of the sort of nature of the dragon heart. And that, by the way, I don't know if this is clear. This should have been made clear.
Okay.
The astral force that the crystal dragon had, been composed of, and that is this like gravity well that basically exists in your heart now. That is like what the same shit that's going on as you guys are doing this.
Okay.
That the heart is like a positive force to what he has as his negative force, basically. Like two ends of a magnet.
Gotcha. This is so overwhelming. I don't know what to say. I do just want to say I'm still so sorry about that day.
You said that you shouldn't be blaming yourself for anything that happened that day. I
should have been stronger. I definitely could have done more.
I don't think that's true at all. I think that you did all that you were capable of doing. That in the same way that I have been brought to this place out of my control, I believe that much of what happened couldn't have been influenced by you either. And we're sort of I'm gonna float back to what he did before when he made those little things, because I was gonna tell you, Sena, he sort of ushers or nudges you and says, go ahead and think of a place and a time and try it.
Any time? Or
just focus on a memory. Focus on
okay. I'm gonna think back about one of my favorite memories with Orion. We were we traveled to a big barn, and it was just like a special day with the family. We got to meet all of their animals, ride their horses and donkeys, and it was just such a beautiful, wonderful day. And that's where personally I learned the love for them.
Okay. You focus on this and you sort of reach your hand out into this sort of infinite space that you're a part of right now, and sort of as you wave your hand sort of before you, you conjure an image of this place and time that you're thinking of. And Orion is going to sort of focus with his hand and pull from the memory that he is sort of viewing and sort of pulls one of the crystals off from the wall of the mine that he's viewing you guys sort of walking through, and you watch as it's sort of enveloped with this sort of implosive pop, and it sort of it like manifests in the same like mirage sort of way that the two of you are sort of sitting here in, and he sort of levitates it over to you with his finger, and he says, "Take it. Go ahead and see if you can't push it through your side."
Okay. I reach out and grab it, and start putting in quite slowly.
Okay. You sort of take it in the same way where your hand isn't necessarily touching it, but it's sort of this mirage-like image that's floating above your hand, and you sort of lower your hand down to the image that you've conjured, and with a sort of resistance, you sort of begin to push this sort of crystal shape through the image, and it's sort of with this explosive sort of pop emerges from the other side, and you sort of watch as you and your family in this memory look up into the sky, and the crystal sort of streaks across it as a shooting star. You were definitely able to do something with it.
And I remember seeing that when I was a kid. Like I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I didn't just like change history, right? This is like circumstance, or
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Why not? I mean, I'm not gonna get into fucking quantum physics here. This is,
dude, please
yeah,
do.
it might.
that's gonna break the game. But
Yeah,
I go back and I make it so that Mina didn't die.
What the
we're
fuck
level
did I
19.
miss?
We're level 19. Let's break the game.
What the fuck did I miss?
Yeah, I'm ready
I'm
to.
already kind of breaking the game with
What'd
what
you
I'm
attempt?
doing.
Yeah,
What'd you attempt to do?
Sena managed to put something into the material plane from the astral plane,
Huh.
basically.
That's cool.
I can't believe that worked, and I do remember this from that day. I can't believe somehow that was us from here, wherever exactly this is. So
Well,
this is
Sena, now that I have an eye on you, I believe you have pressing matters to attend to, don't you? We can enjoy our reunion soon, but part of my end of our search is over.
So you're gonna help me? I guess we'll help each other.
I'll do what I can. I'll stay in this place as a beacon throughout space, and you know where to find me.
Wait. What are you saying? I'm gonna be kicked out already? I'm not gonna see you anymore?
You can spend as much time as you like here, but I think you have a world to save, Sena.
I do. But I just gotta see you again, and
Well, remember that time for us doesn't pass in this place.
I guess that's true. But I need to get down there. From everything that you've seen, do you have any advice for me about what's yet to come?
He sort of sits for a moment, and I mean, it's gonna sound cliche, but it's I mean, probably the advice that would be given is to just keep doing what you have been doing, and that he has faith that you will, you know, do what needs to be done to save the world. Also, I assume that you would have made some kind of effort to fill him in on everything that's happened.
Yeah.
So we'll say that that's like the conversations that you and him can have here if you wish to come back.
Okay.
But you essentially, how this is gonna work is you have a...
Do I need to write this down? Okay.
Kind of. I probably would. I already have it written down, but out of combat, you have a place that doesn't... It's like a place outside of existence where you can sort of be. In combat, you can recede into this like astral pocket essentially, and you can do it as an action on your turn, and then during that turn, you can take 2 additional actions that only affect you.
Ooh.
Or I guess it's you get 2 extra turns basically, and you can do this once per long
Holy
rest.
shit. That's goated.
Once, you said?
Once per long rest, you have, as an action on your turn, you can essentially cast Time Stop on yourself and give yourself 2 additional turns.
Hey, that's cool.
But you
Damn.
can't
Oh,
affect
that's
anything. You
crazy.
can't affect anything that isn't you.
Mm-hmm.
Can't affect
Ah.
anything.
That's a pretty crazy spell, yeah.
Okay, so like this would
So
be
you
like
can't
opportune times for me to like heal
Yeah, if you touch
and like
if you touch anything else.
prep
yeah.
for something.
For-
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah. For everyone else, you would basically just disappear for like
Mhm.
a turn. But for you, you can take 2 additional turns during that time.
Wow.
Very cool.
Okay. Got it.
I love it.
And so then,
Ta-da.
is this how I go back? I would assume yes. I'm asking him.
Yeah, he sort of tells you to focus on the place where you need to be right now. And
where in Ascia exactly? I will go to that same Owl Song Tavern. Probably at this time that they just stopped at, we'll say.
Okay. You sort of begin to put your own hand into this image that you have conjured in front of you after, saying whatever goodbyes to Orion. And it feels weird. It feels like the sensation of your hand sort of disappears from you from one perspective, and at the same time it's almost like your consciousness is feeling your hand register with it again physically, and this sort of washes over your whole body, and it takes a moment for your vision and hearing and everything to adjust, but you sort of do materialize in the tavern with this sort of forceful pop that sort of knocks whatever glasses or food was on the table that you are next to sort of over, and everybody in the tavern just sort of looks over at you now with this sort of pink crystalline growth coming out of your chest and essentially a black hole in the middle of it.
Oh, that's still
Gross.
there.
That's disgusting.
That is still there.
That's
Damn.
badass.
Hey everyone.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What in the nine hells?
Sena just
Wait,
runs
are we-
out.
Are we there?
Just...
You
guys
no,
are-
you guys,
no.
you guys aren't there. You guys
What
are all
the-
doing your own things.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? A pink woman just showed up.
So I'm
As
just
a
gonna
reaction,
run
I try
out.
to hit this thing.
As a reaction, I cast Disintegrate.
I'm scared.
my
I'm a
God.
fighter, not a flyer.
No. There's just regular tavern patrons that are in this tavern, and everybody looks shocked to see you. And you sort of give a little like awkward, "Hey everybody, what's up?" And
Bolt out.
Hell yeah.
yeah, at this point we'll shift back to Metis. No, actually we'll go to Atlan. Atlan, have you made up your mind about your arm yet?
Yeah. I've had
Damn
my mind up
arm.
for an hour.
Okay, what are you doing?
Yeah, that
Oh,
Sena stuff was so boring. What the
Shut
hell?
up, dude.
I think first would like to meet up with the other two though. So I think we should travel as a unit. A unit.
Okay, so the other two, I guess we'll go back, and then I'll have Atlan appear at the end of this.
Okay.
So Fern and Metis, you guys make your way over to the library and meet with this woman again.
Yes.
And she sort of is sitting with you outside of the library on this sort of bench. School is not in session right now, so there's not students all over the place. And she tells you that she brought you to this place because it was quiet.
No.
And she says to you, "I heard the name Atropis uttered during your prayer. That's not a name that you'll find in any books anywhere."
Yes, it seems people willfully or through whatever means seem to keep Atropis out of their mouths and minds.
Well, it's a piece of ancient legend that's long forgotten to the people of this world, but I'm old enough to remember a time when scholars pursued the knowledge that this legend foretold. Now, whether or not there's any truth to it, that's beyond my repertoire, but I can tell you that I know pieces of the history of the gods that the church won't tell you.
Yes, I would love to learn more, but I have to ask, who are you to have this knowledge that so many people avoid?
I imagine it can take a long rest in the throw point. Hell no. It's 2 turns. You have 12 seconds.
Ugh.
Yeah. Lame.
No, she sort of just replies and says, "I'm simply a humble historian. Just one that isn't beholden to the limits that others place on themselves."
Could I I just want to be sure that she's not trying to deceive me here.
Yeah, make a ear for deceit. Or whatever.
Or whatever.
Or whatever.
I think that's what it's called.
I think he's good. It's like a fucking 46 or some
Yeah,
shit with
ear for
Metis.
deceit. Yeah, yeah, some ridiculous number.
Yeah, some fucking over 30 number.
What is this? Is it an insight or investigation?
It's insight.
It's only gonna be 20 then.
Only a 20.
It's only a 20.
Yeah, only
Yeah,
a 20.
no, you get the feeling based on her body language and the sort of smug expression on her face that she really is telling the truth, and that she is sort of the general read that you get from her with that roll of 20 is that she is a scholar who views herself in a league above other scholars, that she's prideful in the intelligence that she possesses, and sort of has an air of arrogance about her.
Dang.
About other people not sort of
Um,
possessing the same caliber as her, I guess.
Okay.
I
Okay.
guess Fern
I'll
will see
take you.
this and want to hear what she has to say. Please.
Yes, I'll take your word for it. Yeah, what can you tell us about Atropus?
Please tell us everything.
What have you heard? What have you been told? Where did you hear the name?
This we heard it from, well, I look at Metis and I guess with a look that's like, should we tell her? What do you
I-
think?
Metis will see Fern's hesitation and go and keep going. We've been told by the sitting King Kit Mondrath of this.
No, hold on. Let me stop you there. The advisor to the king?
The steward.
No,
Yeah.
well, you are imparting your special knowledge onto us. I'll give you some insider information. Yes, Kit Mondrath is acting on behalf of the king in the king's ill health.
So, the, royal household doesn't expect him to make a recovery then, I assume.
No, and I think Kit Mondrath has taken full advantage of the opportunity. And
Well, that's
seized the
concerning,
throne.
to say the least. But we can address that later. What exactly did Mondrath tell you?
Mondrath said that, and I'll kind of look up at this impending object, and is that Atropus is near. And we're not going to take his arrival sitting down.
Now, what I know of Atropus is that he is a god before gods, the progenitor of all that is, and it's said by those who study such pieces of history that one day Atropus is to reclaim what he once gave. Now, whether or not this thing in the sky is Atropus or is an omen of his coming, that I cannot answer. But what I do know is that the gods are far below what Atropus is capable of, if he truly is. I know that. What do you? Here's the question for you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Out of character, what information are you trying to gain here?
Yes, about Atropus's nature, but in a way that might lead to learning about some weakness, some chink
Okay. So
in
you're asking
the armor.
if we're going to destroy this thing, how do we do it?
If this
Yeah. That's
thing is trying to kill us all, how do we keep it from killing us all?
Isn't that the question?
Isn't that the question? Phew. Well, that's a tough question. I think if this thing in the sky truly is Atropos, there's no way to halt its advance.
Damn.
The best that we can hope for is perhaps a redirection, perhaps some way for Atropos to pass through and leave the rest of the world intact.
I see. So it would just completely miss us entirely. Is there any known person or thing that can achieve such a feat?
I'm unsure of anybody who could stand up to a purported true god. But I think, to be honest, Fern, if there's any hope for this realm, it lies in your hands. It's going to be you and Atlan and Metis who are going to make the calls that are going to determine the world.
Take Bikini Bottom and move it over there. What? Oh. Yeah. This
What
scholar.
happened?
No, I just said, what if we just take Bikini Bottom and push it over there?
I mean, well, that's kind of
That is the plan. That's the plan.
That's kind of what she's telling you might need to be
Yeah.
done.
I look at the scholar, and when she says that the fate of the world rests on us, in full honesty, I just tell her that we don't even know where to start. Like, do you have any idea? Like, we don't even know. You don't even have to tell us if there's anything that can maybe solve our problem, but just can you point us in a direction at all?
Well, I think if there's anybody who's going to be helpful to you, it won't be anybody mortal. I think seeking audience with the gods themselves may be the best way to do that.
But
I know of an isle where Katha is said to reside.
Yeah, I think that might be our best bet. We tried to, or at least Metis tried to contact Katha earlier, and as you saw, it didn't go so well. But our friend Atlan, Eos, seemed no good. He didn't
the gods
want to.
can only answer so many prayers at a time. I think
But
finding them where they sit may be a much easier way to contact them.
Have we told her about what Atlan said, or no? I zoned out for a little bit.
I don't think so. No.
Okay, then I'll mention that. I'll say our friend Atlan did contact Eos. He is a devout follower of Eos and a paladin at that, and Eos basically just told us that this thing in the sky is just abyssal rock, and he'll deal with it when the time comes. But if you're saying, but Kit Mondrath told us it was Atropos, and we're just getting conflicted opinions.
Well, I wouldn't put it past Eos to give a non-committal answer such as that.
What do you mean by that?
Have you told her about? I forget. I kind of zoned out too. Did you tell her about what Mondrath told you about?
No,
Mondrath said.
I purposely didn't mention what Mondrath said because I wanted to see if what she said lined up with what
makes sense.
Mondrath was saying,
Okay.
and it seemed like it did.
It did, yeah. That's why Fern is like going all in now.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll tell her about what Mondrath said
Yeah.
now.
Okay, what do you say?
Just this.
Yeah,
being-
Mondrath. Yeah, Mondrath said very similar things to you, but when our friend Atlan spoke to Eos, he gave us a conflicting message with this rock business. No mention of Atropus of any kind.
Well, again, I can't say whether the legends about Atropus are true or not. What I can tell you that seeking answers from those who venerate the gods as beings above mortals is going to be circular, get you nowhere. As the clergy, studies the gods as myth, historians study the human elements of their lives, I suppose I should say. What Mondrath told you may be true, that the demons are the children of the gods, and it, from the church isn't proud of much of the human lives of many of the gods. It was their greed that led to the creation of the abyss as it is.
I see. So exactly what Mondrath said is true if you're solidifying it.
Now, at least that part of it is. You also said that Eos himself spoke to Atlan and told him that it was a piece of the abyss that was hurtling towards the earth, or the earth, you know what I meant, the planet.
The planet.
That bit may be true as well, and it would explain why Eos is so quick to assign his own agency to the handling of it.
So at the moment we still have no definite answer, but
Yeah, I suppose. Well, yes, I thank you for all your help. We need people like you in this city who keep their head and keep identity separate to whatever authority.
The study of the lives of the gods is clouded by dogma and erasure of their most embarrassing parts. And, studying the abyss becomes a different thing when you don't hate the demons for what they are, and you understand more a piece of their history as well. They didn't ask for their fates, as we didn't ask for ours. The demons are in pain as we're in pain, and they live as we do. Oh, the music stopped. Hold on, give me a sec. I'm sick of this song. Let's just do this one, why not? No, that's too dramatic. Snowy City, why not? Yeah, and she sort of continues on and, tells you, I'd like to tell you a piece of history that you won't hear any priests or paladins tell you about Eos and Catha.
Oh.
Before his ascension to godhood, Eos was a prideful man, and as he aged, he began to fear his death. He would not be around to see the statues that his followers built in his honor someday. He would hear his praises sung for a final time, He aged, and the physical peak his body had remained in for centuries that he had spent so much time maintaining has become soft and frail. Without him watching over the planet, it could fall to chaos and evil. So he came to Catha one night and begged his lover, "Please, death is a wretched curse placed on us by a cruel master. You have the power to free us from it." And Catha refused. "I have no master but the life stream itself. I serve it by easing the dying and guiding them back to the life stream." Eos pleaded once more and said, "Look upon our people. You will die too someday, will you not? Who among them will continue your work when you are gone?" And Catha replied, "That matters not. We must have faith that our impact on the planet will persist after our deaths. To defy death is to defy the life stream." "I shall do neither," she replied. Eos became angry and said, "Why? Why do you reserve your mercy for the dying? You hold in your hands the essence of life itself, yet you deny humanity salvation from death." Catha became angry in turn and said, "And your hands deal death to those you deem wicked. Who is your master, Eos?" Eos fell silent, for he had no good reply. Catha said, "You serve none except yourself." Catha left him alone that night, and he sought the company of drink, as well as 2 other soon-to-be gods. It was Eos and Lur and Lethem that discovered the realm that would become the Abyss. It was a bountiful plain, home to endless lush groves and beautiful creatures that knew no such thing as death, hunger, or strife. They did not harm one another. They fed on the fruits of their plains that grew endlessly, and lived in perfect, endless tranquility. Eos was amazed by this, and this was his vision for what humanity could have. "Catha, my love, I apologize for everything," he returned to her the next night and told her. "I wish to learn how to serve the life stream as you do. I have been selfish, and yours is a heavy burden. I will share it. Teach me to weave the threads of the life stream into men and beasts, so that you may tend to unraveling those threads when they die." Catha was hesitant at first, but could not remain angry with her lover. She taught him to use the life stream to grow plants, to mend wounds, and eventually to create life. As she tended to death, Eos tended to life, and he wove the tapestry of life at one end, and Catha unwove it at the other. For a while, this was the way that things were, but in the back of Eos's mind, his fear of death persisted. He would dream of the realm of plenty often, and would visit it frequently. While there, he found that the command that he had over the lifestream was amplified tenfold. He would return to our plane with new threads to weave into the tapestry. He wove them first into himself, until his aging muscles were firm and strong once more. He came to Lur and Lethem and showed them what his discovery allowed him to do. "The life stream flows through that place like a rushing river. Do the 2 of you not fear your impending deaths?" The 2 nodded in agreement, and Eos wove into them the threads of the life stream that flowed through that place until they too were full of life and vigor. Their aging bodies ceased to ache, and the wounds in their bodies closed. The 3 of them smiled and laughed. Eos had found a way to defy death without defying his lover. He began to pull from this realm threads of the life stream and weave them into his most loyal followers. "Salvation from the curse of death at last," he cried, as he returned the dying to health. Eos had become the first of the gods to achieve immortality, and handed it out gleefully to his followers. Wherever his light shone, life flourished. Catha would ask Eos why less men were dying, but he guarded the secret of his realm of plenty. Given time, she would understand why, he thought to himself. As he and the others continued to pull from this realm, the life stream began to unravel there. The plants that bore endless harvest began to wither and produce no fruit. The sky became a dull gray. The beasts that called the realm home felt hunger for the very first time, and with no food began to feed on each other. Eos came to Catha last, after sharing his gifts with all the other gods, and said, "My love, I must show you a discovery I have made, a discovery that can finally lift the burden you have borne on your back all your life." Catha was cautious to reply and said, "Eos, I have told you already I have no interest in abandoning my duty to the life stream." Eos shook his head and said, "You will understand when you see. Come with me." And he brought her to his realm of plenty, but saw only a blackened sky above a withering realm. The trees had died, and the beautiful beasts that Eos was enamored with had grown fangs and claws. The lush green grass had long since died and given way to pale sand. Catha was terrified and said, "What is this place, Eos? Where have you brought me?" Eos had no reply. Long after, when she had learned the truth, she was furious. Eos attempted to reason with her, but she would hear none of it. She ignored her lover for many years, as he tried to prove to her the good intention of his actions. She grew frail and old as well, and began to lose faith that any would continue her work after her death. The world had come to abandon the idea of death and the loyalty that they had held to it, and she watched as the world fell into chaos in the hands of its new gods. Eos led armies of aether-infused immortal warriors into the abyss that flew on wings of light, attempting to purge its violent inhabitants, undo their existences. Soon, no men were dying at all, except in the abyss, as warriors, led by Eos. The structure that Catha had strived to maintain was crumbling before her, and she could do nothing to stop it in her old age. Eventually, years later, Catha came to Eos with words. "Weave into me life eternal. It was my teaching that led you to this, so I shall see to it that it is undone. But make no mistake, Eos, I shall only defy death, so that death may be promised to all men." Eos conceded, and Catha became the final god, the goddess of death, who would look after the other foolish 8 and her lover for all time. It was then that the first age ended, and Kalan began its second age. Orcus now threatens to end this second age and usher in a third age, an age without life or death, an age where the emptiness of the abyss is spread across all planes. And she sort of, as she finishes the story, looks up at the celestial body in the sky and says, "Whether or not that is Atropos, that is, I'm sure, what it's here to do."
Thank you for your story. This is helpful.
Atlan, you've kind of been hanging at the corner here, sort of listening from afar.
Oh.
You don't. The others don't know that you're present. Do you wish to make yourself known at this point?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
I
He's
will
probably,
say,
like he's thinking about too many things right now to want to interact with anyone.
The story
Process all this.
The story that you've overheard was one that's something that had never been brought up in your education of the lives of the gods. It is far too human for the veneration that the Temple of Twilight holds.
Yeah, I was gonna say what always fascinated Atlan with like the faith, I guess, was not so much like the that the like deification of Eos. It was more the fact that he was a man and became something like greater. And so to hear this, it was almost like he like, of course, from the temple would always, they wouldn't teach anything about the greed or the pride, I guess, of Eos, but learning this, it kind of made sense to him, because Eos was a human. Of course he would be like susceptible to foolishness of humans, but yeah, he just conflicted, because he's been raised in this way for a couple of years, and this is the path Mina sent him on, and so he's still very much loyal, but he understands, like, he understands this new point of view, I think, and he's not rejecting it, I would say.
Okay. Eventually, the scholar sort of bids you two farewell and leaves you sort of sitting on the bench to yourselves. Is there anything that you guys are discussing?
Metis is just saying to Fern, it seems like if we are able to get any sort of audience with Katha, she might be more sympathetic to our cause.
It seems. So, yeah, Eos seems to, or Katha seems to have a more willing personality than Eos. We can't let Atlan know of this, can we? This is...
I don't think his brain would even let him
It's
consider.
Has puny, foolish brain, unlike mine, infused with blood.
This is just this is just everything that he's known or does know about Eos, and kind of flips it around. Yeah, it's be a lot.
Yes, so I think he doesn't need to know, but he can still help us.
Yeah, that's... I think contacting Katha is our best bet right now.
Let's meet up Atlan and tell him of let's meet up Atlan. Let's meet up Atlan. Let's meet up Atlan and kill him.
Take his money. Take his gold. Lure him into an alley.
I steal Atlan's gold.
What's this, guys?
Yeah, I go and walk around the corner. I go, oh, Atlan!
I guess I'll as I see them kind of wrapping up, I'll try to make it less obvious that I'm just sitting by the doorway, and kind of, distance myself from this building.
Yeah, Metis leaves, and I'm assuming Fern also leaves. And we go search for Atlan.
Okay, so I've been not talking on purpose. You guys have individually said, I make myself known to Atlan, and I make myself known to the other two, and this is up to you guys. Who's bumping into who here?
I guess they walk out, right? And then I'll
Okay, here's
I'll
my
kinda...
mind. If Alan's hiding around some random corner, what are the odds we're gonna go to that random corner?
Roll for it.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll
Metis
reveal
starts
myself.
walking
I'll reveal
to
myself
nearest
first.
cavern.
I'll reveal myself.
It is I
Alright.
am here.
To the nearest tavern. Okay, you guys are all walking to the nearest tavern when suddenly you hear Atlan walking up behind
Wait
you.
up, guys. Yeah. No. I'll make myself known when they after they come out.
Go ahead. You guys see Atlan.
Oh,
Hey
speak
guys.
of the devil.
The devil.
The devil.
Well,
Speak of the
I think I've decided my what I want to do with my arm. What have you guys been up to?
Just
Yes.
researching solutions to our impending problem.
You find
Yes,
any
we-
useful information?
Yes, we
I'd say
met
so.
with a scholar who told us that Katha might be able to, if we're able to get an audience with Katha, it might be helpful to make sure we don't all die a horrible death.
That seems, yeah, seems like a good idea. I was hoping for a better response from the Dawn Father, but I see he has maybe a lot of prayers to answer these days.
Yes, we can't blame the Dawn Father for his brevity. But maybe we'll be able
Hopefully,
to
Katha will
find.
fare better.
Yes. And then I'm assuming we got some sort of location on this isle.
Yeah,
Is it on the map?
funnily enough, it is on the map. Who has the hole?
Oh, is it? Oh, this is it.
No
The
way.
Isle of the Moon Maiden.
The Isle of the
Who has the
Moon.
hole?
I have the hole.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Where did I put that? Is it like
What does
did
the
it
hole do?
disappear?
What the
What's
Oh
the
my
hell?
gosh,
hole
I
do?
was wondering if that was
Oh,
gonna be a
this!
dead end.
Wait, I don't know what is
No
this?
way! The fucking guy, the merchant, sold us this.
Yeah,
What?
after
Okay,
I
what
cleaned out
is-
his
what
bag
is
of
it?
supplies.
I know, but it's white. It's a white square on my screen.
Oh,
Oh,
it's the map with the X on the island.
Okay, that's what it's supposed to be. And if you guys can see that, I'm not gonna bother sifting through my files for it. That's that's what it is.
holy crap.
That's
The
crazy.
callback.
Dude, that was like almost a year ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The
You
lead
guys,
up.
you guys never unburied the right threads in the right places, but yeah, that is definitely the right place.
Wow.
And you're kind of connecting these dots a bit late, but
The
it would
Moon
seem-
Maiden.
It would seem that you make a connection in your mind that the cult of Orcus has had their eyes set on this island for a while.
Oh, that's probably why. I get it.
Okay, yeah.
We wanted to go there a long time ago, but it was like, nah, we can't right now. We'll go back. We'll come back. And I think we just forgot. Yeah. Yeah, about the so we have this map like with us, right, in universe. Okay.
Yes.
It seems we have a location. And I only know one person who I'd want to forge an arm for me, and I think he only stays in Feltorin these days.
Oh man, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Metis goes. You can't be referring to the goat.
Knuckles, brother, Knuckles. Put her there.
Yes, time is of the essence. I think we should charter a course to this isle as soon as possible. So
Time is of the
maybe we
essence
can,
in real life too.
yeah, maybe we can teleport to Feltorin.
No, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to say-
Sadly, we can't teleport to Feltorin.
Yeah, I
Why
was gonna
not?
say, yeah, the only person that can take you there right now is Poppy, because Matt can't use
Oh
dimensional
yeah,
magic.
I forgot about that. Shit. Well, what is it? Is it the it's just called teleport?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck,
damn.
man. Do they have like a portal or like a waystone at
Well, there's a
Ascia?
girl.
We do know a lady who does that. Where is Poppy in Ascia right now?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's
Okay.
a court mage. She stays in the
I was
castle.
thinking before we leave, we should probably inform our other allies of Mondrath's plan. Maybe even Morgan. I think it might be good for them to know what's going on.
Yeah, remember
yes.
too that Mondrath isn't Oh, did you say Morrigan? Okay, I was gonna say remember that Mondrath told you that he doesn't view you as an enemy.
I know. I feel like it's something that are close to like Poppy and Haldor should probably know. And maybe
Yeah.
Morgan. I don't know.
Well, you know what? You guys are gonna have a great opportunity to talk to them all at the funeral that we're gonna time skip to.
Yeah.
Whoa. Well, do we?
Before
is
that, I was.
Did
That's
we,
what I.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say before that, if
The
you
high
guys would
winds.
like to, speed run this, you guys presumably go to Poppy to teleport to Feltorin because traveling there would be ridiculously long and you'd miss the funeral. And when you do, you ask around like, oh, where might Poppy be? And you're like, oh, she's probably in her chamber. So you like knock on the door, and you see
Oh.
she's there's somebody in the room with her.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
The door. We gotta knock. The door creaks open.
Yeah.
You hear.
She's frantic and she's talking to Sena, who's in the room with her.
Oh my god!
What the
hell?
hell? Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, there you guys are. I was looking around for you
holy
guys.
shit, I didn't even know you were back. I didn't mean to interrupt or anything.
Yeah,
Atlan,
Hey,
shut
man,
the
it's not
fuck
like
up!
that, man. It's not like
listen,
that, man.
Fern runs up to Sena and hugs her.
Metis goes, I told you guys she would be back.
I'm sorry, Sena.
it's okay, Fern. It's
I'm
okay.
sorry. Fern's bawling her eyes out.
Listen, I don't fully understand how I was able to come back yet. It's still overwhelming, but I'll be able to tell you guys all soon. But like,
Metis is
I was just
inspecting
catching
Sena
up with
to
Poppy.
make sure.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're okay.
It's good to have you
I very
back,
much
Sena.
hug her tightly back, very much.
As you guys,
I can't even imagine what it took to bring you back. Can you explain what happened?
Probably not quickly. It has a mixture
Okay.
of seeing my brother again, time manipulation.
Oh my god.
The
Oh my
accident that
God.
happened 7 years ago, seeing into the past. New ability I think I have.
Wow.
It's a whole lot to explain.
Is Sena's appearance different, by the way?
yeah, she has a hole in
pink
her
shit. Big pink
I,
shit.
Yeah, the
Yes.
hole in her chest, right?
The chest hole.
Yeah, you look good, Sena.
Oh, yeah, that too. Apparently I
you
have
got
a
pectus excavatum, dog.
Lost weight.
hole in my chest.
Cut some pounds. Some coming.
You can sort of see that it's like the center of the chest, like her chest plate has been like blown open.
Damn.
Obviously you can have that mended. But
Yeah.
Well, it's not on our mini, so.
Oh my god.
I can't imagine anymore.
Yeah, you want me to
How?
draw
everything.
You want me to draw a shirtless Sena mini? Is that
Oh my
Immersion
god. I don't
broken.
know.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa.
I think I'm
Yeah.
good.
I was gonna say I'm sure Atlan has some fucking birthmark or something, but I'm not drawing that on his mini.
This is news to me.
The only
Dude, I want all
reason
my
that
birthmarks.
like a bodily feature is on a mini is because it's on your neck.
Alan has a secret tale that he's not
You know what's
telling
funny?
anyone about.
You know what's funny? I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna
Like from
peel back the
Shallow
curtain.
Hal.
Yeah, exactly.
I totally blew it. I made this whole big thing. I made 3 extra Metis minis that I never got to use because I literally just
What?
forgot about it. I literally just forgot that it was gonna happen.
Dang.
What, the werewolf?
I can show you right now if you guys want to retcon this into happening. But it was supposed to
Okay.
have. It was supposed to happen during the fight with Metis's dad, and I literally just forgot to do it.
Oh.
Did you remember like right after?
Oh.
Huh? Yeah.
That's my thing, Matthew.
Holy.
Don't take that from
He
me.
goes, oh.
The Wolf Knight.
Metis was supposed to get like a
Oh.
facial wound.
Whoa.
Oh shit,
That
that
was
is
supposed
cool.
to happen. It was supposed to happen during the fight, and then
He has a scar after.
yeah, and then afterwards,
cool.
If it'll load.
Then he turns into his dad.
Hey, my dad's
Father.
mini. Father.
Please. Oh shit! I just realized these are the 2D ones. I totally forgot. Oh my god.
Yeah. Here, and
Oh, it's
then
cool, it's 3D.
I think this is the one with the scar. I was supposed to.
So it's like
adapt it.
just got scar, and then afterwards.
Yeah, there was like a
when he
healed
healed.
one. I don't know where
Yeah.
that healed one is actually. I have no idea.
That's all right. I can imagine. That's cool though.
But- Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to do that, and I literally just fucking forgot. And I was so mad afterwards. I was like, dude,
Let's
I
just say
spent fucking
Metis got
time.
scratched by dad.
Yeah, I tripped on some stairs.
I
and
tripped on the
No.
lacrimator.
The whole point was that it was supposed to be something
That
that
could've
he's
been-
angry about because his dad
Oh,
scarred
okay.
him, and then that like persists as like an element of his father after
Yeah,
his
yeah,
dad.
like yeah, it stays with him. Like an emotional scar. I was
But,
thinking
like,
it could have been like
or-
it could have been the lacrimator fatal wound scar though. That would work too.
Yeah,
He
I
did
mean,
die.
just, like,
He did die in that fight.
you know what? Yeah, I'll say that that's probably that's just what that is then I guess because I forgot you did die. I just forgot to change the mini, and I think that's why is because you fucking died. I forgot that
He
you
died to a
died.
friend.
Oh
I know,
my
well, he was
god,
out,
he did
I
die.
forgot
He was
about
out for
that.
like 5 rounds, bro.
That's
Yeah.
why I fucking forgot
Fern and
to do
Atlan
it.
clutched the fuck up.
It was like the
Oh,
second turn, I
God.
think. It was pretty
Yeah.
early.
It was very
my God.
fast.
Yeah. All right. Well, sure. Anyway, I don't know.
It's
Metis,
whatever,
Metis,
homie.
retroactively roleplay in your mind that you've been upset about this fucking scar forever.
On your chest.
Scar is really teasing me.
Incredible.
Anyway, you guys meet up with
Incredible.
Sena.
Yeah, so
Um,
what are you guys doing here?
Dude, what are
Sena?
you doing here?
I came to figure out what's going on. Poppy's been filling me up a little bit. It seems like
Huh?
it's the fight's
Well,
not
I'm
over.
glad you
Huh? Filling you up.
friends.
I thought
What?
I killed you, Sena.
Fern.
Well, and that's the thing. Poppy sort of says something to you, Fern, and says, "Well, that's the thing, right?" And sort of takes your hand and puts it on Sena's like neck. She doesn't have a pulse.
Whoa.
That's right.
Kill you.
Fern, I'm in some sort of middle ground, I think, honestly. But what's most important is that I'm here now, and I'm here to finish the fight with you guys.
Do you mean
And I
some-
imagine that you guys want to ask Poppy for some help, maybe with some teleporting. Is that why you're here?
Wow,
Leave the-
you
Leave
guessed
the
it.
two of us alone so that we can
Right
get back.
on.
All right.
You should really yeah, you guessed right.
Okay. So what's the deal? What's going on?
uh,
We just phoned
Uh,
Sena with all the info we got from Mondrath and everything.
Yeah, why not? Sure. Let's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay.
I
been a-
know,
okay.
right? Crazy.
All right, it's been a crazy day for Sena.
Yeah. Poppy goes. Okay, we were in the middle of something, anyways.
closes the
Yeah,
door.
just closes it,
Closes the door.
seals the door with ice.
Hopefully, no
Okay.
more interruptions. And then.
Well,
Well,
and
yeah,
they get back to
so-
doing whatever they were doing.
You guys are now in Feltorin, and you're
Wow.
talking to the Iron King. and he says, "Why, yes, Atlan, I would be so proud to forge an arm for you."
Wait, is that who Alan wanted the arms from? We don't actually.
Bro,
know
he's
yet.
he's
Okay,
connecting the
Alan.
dots now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who
Well, okay,
else?
well, what is
Who
how does
else?
Feltorn look before we go in? Is it like is it getting repaired? It's looking good.
Yeah, it's looking better, but like the people are also kind of in a state of panic. Like, what is this giant rock that's hurtling towards our
I see.
planet?
Got it. All right. Well,
Um,
yeah, they might have more pressing matters, but yeah, we'll meet up with the guy.
Okay, you walk into his forge.
Yeah, this armor really proved me well. I definitely would have died if I wouldn't. I lost an arm, but I would have lost a lot more if I didn't have this great armor. So I thank you, but I am looking for some kind of prosthetic. If
Well,
there's anything you could do.
if it wasn't a bespoke piece, I'd be upset that it's not a complete set, but, you know, I could forge you something. Give me a few days, and I'll
All
be
right,
honored.
I appreciate it. You've done so much for us and for me. You created so much great armor. It's
And he sort of gives you this.
I'll be indebted to you forever.
He sort of gives you this like cheesy smile, and he says, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Atlan?"
What are we thinking? I kind of raise an eyebrow. My helmet's not always on, but now, by the way, so you can
Yeah,
tell.
right.
There's
Yeah,
some
you can see
facial
his
expressions.
He
Yeah.
raises an eyebrow and he goes, "Atlan, you and I are brothers in a way.
Great minds think alike.
I would say brothers in arms if it wasn't so ironic." And he
Oh my
unscrews his
god!
prosthetic arm.
Oh my gosh.
You would give this to me?
I mean, trick it out in a way, but I think in my old age, I can't fight the fight that you're fighting, but you can sort of allow me to. If you would,
Lend a hand. Oh.
No way!
you would let me lend
Oh,
a
no
hand.
fucking shot.
Oh man. Well, like always, it would be a great honor to display any of your craftsmanship.
And he sort of says, "Give me a little while to make it a bit more functional. I doubt a smithing hammer is going to do you any good."
Oh, okay, I see. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yada yada yada. He sort of makes a few more lending you a hand and arm jokes. And
Alan appreciates it because it's kind of alleviating. It's a little humor in the at the end of the world,
yeah, and eventually he gives you this sort of polished, cleaned up version of the arm he's been wearing, and he gives you like a kind of more hand-like attachment for it. And yeah, you can like affix it to your shield, but it's still
okay.
just a metal arm.
I see.
You can use it as a hand to equip things to, etc. But appearance-wise, it's sort of like what Guts' hand from Berserk looks like in a way.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you, sir.
Jeez, it's already 10:30, and yeah, so
Yeah, it's late.
he's very happy that you're allowing him to sort of participate in your guys' mission in a way. Very honored that you would come to him. And there's an evil part of me that it keeps thinking like, dude, do the arm nub fist bump, but I'm like, that would be stupid.
That is so
Maybe,
dumb.
maybe a little
Too
dumb.
silly.
That
Maybe
is
a
so
little
silly.
Maybe a little bit.
The nubs.
Yeah, fucking joink.
We'll do that. Yeah. No.
We'll do that after the
Do
world.
that. Yeah.
Huge.
But no, you guys, we're gonna finish tonight's session with one final scene,
Okay.
at an appropriately cloudy day with gentle snow falling from the sky as you guys gather at the castle for Akram's funeral.
Oh.
No.
And yeah, there's just a sort of portrait that's been brought from the inside of the castle that's sort of escorted by some guards that has been laid on top of white flowers. And one of the guards sort of addresses the crowd, and it is kind of everybody that you've been with, Haldor and Juliana and Poppy. You guys are in sort of a separate area closer to where it's being held, and there's sort of a large-ish crowd of people sort of behind and below you in this sort of separate area. And, the guard speaks and says, we gather here to mourn the loss of one of Ascia's finest warriors, who bravely gave his life to allow us a chance at... This music is too loud. A chance at saving the world. And he said that he would like those who knew him best to, say a few words. And Atlan and Metis and Fern and Sena, you each can say a few short things.
I guess I'll start. Akram was probably the most upfront, straightforward, a little bit loud person I've ever met. And because of all those qualities, he was everything you'd expect a guardian, a hero to be. He made you feel safe when he was around, and the way he talked to you just made you feel important, like you mattered. And it seemed to him like you really did. And he gave his life to let us live. And I'll never forget him. And then tears, a few tears start to well up, but not full-blown crying. But just Akram was everything that you'd expect him to be and more. And I hope he lives on in history forever. And he will within us. And Fern will step down.
Metis will go next. Akram was the best of what Ascia had to offer. He truly embodied the strength of a strong people. A shield and a spear. He knew when to hold steadfast and when to strike.
I really, really thought you were about to say he knew when to hold them. And he knew when to
Oh
hold
my
them.
god.
I really thought that's where you were going with that.
Wait, what?
That would have been crazy.
For a moment, I
Hold
was like,
know when to roll,
is
know
Ryan saying
when
this
to
in
walk
character?
away. Metis the gambler.
Anyways, he knew when to defend and when to strike.
Yes. The one to hold him.
Yeah, and don't say it again.
Don't say it again.
No, I think Akram was what this city needed and embodies what this city needs to strive for and what it will continue to need. Strength. And then Metis will leave with that.
Sena will come up next. Just talk about how he truly was one of the greats of Ascia, and lightly describes how he had saved us out in the frozen wilds of Falkenheim and showed us the way, and how he's such an example of Ascia, and especially its people, that the strength that they all have, and just truly will remember him for fighting with all of us till the end. And then Sena will
That
go
leaves
back to your
one.
seat.
All right. Atlan will say, I met Akram many months back, and other than the three standing next to me, Akram was perhaps the closest friend I've made along this journey. He, like what my friends here have already said, he truly embodied what it means to be a citizen of Ascia and one of their defenders. He fought valiantly to his dying breath. Without him, we would not have escaped the abyss. He was he was a good man, and he'll be missed. But that doesn't mean that we should spend our time grieving and forgetting what Akram died for. There is I will be completely honest. The future, it does look bleak, but I think we as a people, we can make sure that we honor Akram's legacy and all those who have fallen, and we can push back against this force.
Last to go up, there's a few more people that, give some platitudes about him, tell some stories of his life. Final to go up is Haldor, who begins speaking and said, "You forgot about him?"
I really forgot, but I was like, shit, they were like homies.
They
They were boys. Yeah,
They were
he's
homies.
Navy.
Yeah,
He's
I
military.
forgot how close they were. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says, many of you knew Akram as a honorable and well-mannered, strong face for our military, and he was all of those things, but I knew Akram before he became all those things. I knew him when he could be described as more beast than man. When stop saying beastitude.
I'm sorry.
When Akram was brought into the military, he originally was pitted against us as the leader of a band of brigands and bandits in the frozen reaches of the north. And through combat with us, we earned each other's respect after a long while, Akram began to, in a way he would describe frequently as being domesticated, settle down, and began to learn how to enjoy the simpler, smaller elements of life. But I think in Akram's final moments, he had nothing to lose except for his chains. And he died a true warrior's death. I don't think he would have had it any other way. And eventually the ceremony kind of concludes. And the music is not appropriate for this, but as it does, and you guys sort of turn to make your way out of the royal cemetery, the four of you sort of feel this ominous sensation sort of clawing at the back of your minds. Sharing thoughts and speaking with, your friends, and on your way out, you sort of feel this shift, and you, Atlan, sort of turn to look behind you at the, royal cemetery, which is only in like the first layer of the castle, and so it's still on ground level. And you sort of watch as a few plants begin to sort of wilt, and you kind of look behind you. You watch the grass sort of begin to lose its color, and you swear you see this sort of shift underneath the earth. And we're gonna end on a bit of a cliche tonight, but the last thing that you see is you sort of see this skeletal hand begin to claw its way out of the ground.
Oh no!
Whoa.
What the?
Akram, get back down there! Go to bed!
No,
What?
Akram, you guys don't have
Not.
Akram's body. He died in the abyss.
Yeah.
It's not Akram.
Oh, true.
Is that Orcus? Does it
You
look like
watch-
Orcus's hand?
No, you're watching skeleton. You're watching a
we're in
skeletal
the
hand
cemetery.
claw its
Oh
way out of the
crap!
Stay down!
out of the
Go back to
out
bed!
of the grave,
The cemetery,
that it's
yeah.
kind of buried in. And you see the rest of you. You sort of see a few others sort of begin as the crowd that had gathered for Akram's funeral sort of begins falling into disarray and chaos. You're watching the dead claw their way out from the earth.
Like other
And that
people are
is-
seeing this?
Holy crap!
Oh shit. Okay.
All right,
Ready
fine.
up.
And then we're
Haste me.
gonna pick up here next week.
Dude, what if
Wow.
instead- Dude,
That was
what
cool.
if
No,
what
we're
if
not.
one of
Yeah,
them?
we're not doing a combat tonight, Ryan.
What do you mean?
What if
What
one
if
of
I
them is
mean?
City
What if I-
Werben Jensen?
What if you do what now?